I don't even know where to start. I want to record the next couple of weeks. Good for people to see like what athletes go through and all the highs, and you know, you see on Instagram, social media, it's like all the good things that people accomplish. What I've posted the last year or two is just like things that I've done well in the sport. It's not all sunshine and rainbows. So today at, oh my god, I can't even like speak. Today at training, I've just come off a 200 meter PB. I went to New Zealand last weekend. I just came off a PB and I ran 23:29. And this morning at training, I've torn my hamstring. This is like the, I don't know, 7th hamstring tear now. It's just so upsetting because I did one full rep. I did 130 meters and felt really good. It was really hot at the track, and then my next start, I've torn it 13 meters in. Like, what the fuck? Whenever I've torn any of my other hamstrings, it's at top speed when I'm running really fast in like 80 meters in a rep. But this, I was supposed to go to Perth this weekend, to Perth Track Classic, but that's done. I was supposed to go to Nationals in 6 weeks, but I can tell you right now that I'm not going. I've injured myself every year for the last 4 years. And previously to that too. I qualified for World Juniors in 2016. I'm sure they do this now, but you need to run like a pre-departure time. I went up to Canberra to race the 400 meters, and I did 100 meters prior to that and tore it. So my first Australian team just stripped away from me. When I was 18 in 2022, I strained my hamstring on the line at Vic Champs, but that's okay because that was just going to be like a 4-week injury. But unfortunately, prior to that injury, I was in the gym and I hit my tibia with a barbell when I was coaching, and it just started as bone bruising. And then when I was just running, training, competing, it eventually turned into a stress reaction and then turned into a stress fracture. And that was probably the worst injury of my life because it just wasn't healing. Like, I was on crutches and a moon boot for 2-3 months, and like I couldn't really work that much. I couldn't be as social as I always am. Like, I just wasn't my normal self. It was really bad. I'd just go back to the sports doctor and I got, you know, scan after scan just to see what was happening because it just wasn't healing. First race back after that injury, which ended up being 10-12 months, I travelled to Queensland. First 100 metres of the season, tore my hammy, 4-5 centimetre tear off the bone. So it was a tendon and bone, which is probably one of the worst hamstring tears. So I got my scans back and I went and saw a surgeon, and he pretty much said if I ever want to sprint again, I need to have surgery. So that was a no-brainer for me. Didn't have private health insurance, and yeah, so that was great. And so I did the injury in Jan, had the surgery in Feb, and then I was back running at 100% in September. So that was a nice long injury. And then 1st of Jan 2024, tore my hammy again in training. This was in like a 400 meter split. So not 100 meters, like split 400. Second rep. That was a grade 2, and I'm just also going to put it out there. I did not go out on New Year's Eve. I was in bed by 9-10 p.m. Injury was in 8 to 10 weeks, which feels the exact same as this one, like the exact. I competed 10 weeks after that in March. I had to get a national qualifier because I had nothing next to my name. And I like just got it just because I had no base off me or anything. Like, and I had 2 weeks of training. I got the national qualifier and I got to go to nationals for the first time in like 2 or 3 years. So I was so proud of myself for getting there. After the 400 meters getting the qualifying time, I decided to do the 200, sorry, I just keep fucking crying. My eyes are like burning. The 200 meter qualifier, which was like the last week that I could have got it, and I was really sick, and I was like, I just need to get this time because I reckon I'm gonna be, you know, I just want to go to nationals and do a 2 and a 4. Like, at the time I probably wasn't gonna make a 400 meter final, and I'm like, I just want to do 2 events at nationals. So the last weekend that I had the 200 meters, I went and ran. I was very sick, so got the qualifier though. And then I went to nationals for the first time in a long time. I think I'm only crying right now because I'm not going this year. I made the 200 meter final, which was really like proud of me for like everything that I had gone through. And I came 7th. And I went to Europe because I was like, my season has only like just started, so I want to like keep going and I want to get PBs on the board and I want to go experience a European season. I went to Europe for 5 weeks to compete. I got a 400 meter season's best and a 200 meter PB, which I was really happy about. Going into this season, like I've had the best pre-season. I have had not one like niggle, one injury. I've competed 3 times this season in 2025. ACT Champs, Adelaide Track Classic and New Zealand International Track Meet, and I've come away, yeah, I got a PB in the 200. Going off like a really big high in the sport. Like I've had like years and years of just knock, you know, you just get given something little and then you just get like fuck you, you know, just get knocked down again. Like, no, you just have to go through rehab again like the fucking 10th time. I'm gonna get a scan in the next few days. I'm like that I've had surgery on, so I just want to make sure everything's okay. I was always going to go to Europe this year. I have a lot more shit times in the sport. I still love it so much and it's like been my life for so long. Being at that like high and like say just from the weekend, like you're just so happy and just like all your work does pay off. I know there's like so many other shit things in life and I'm so grateful that I'm healthy, my family's healthy and you know, I'm okay. But this is my career, this is my sport, this is my life. It's also my work. Like I want to show what the next few weeks look like. I want to show the downs in the sport. I want to show the shit moments, and I know when the highs are there and when the good moments are there that it's gonna make every little bit better and better. I'm gonna show you how I'm walking at the moment. Let's do like every day like a little walk like this. So pretty shit. I can't really like straighten my leg without it like hurting. Like I don't know, that's never really happened before. Day 2 of hamstring tear. I slept like shit, could not fall asleep. So I think it's a bit better than yesterday. Day 5. So I feel like I'm a bit better than yesterday. Still a slight limp. 6. So no limp and good pace. I don't know why, but I just really feel like sitting on the floor. I tore my hamstring a week ago on the Wednesday. It's Tuesday today. And I'd say I'm pretty much walking the same as yesterday. Maybe like a slight bit better. So I booked in to get a scan tomorrow and we'll get the results. And then pretty much we'll plan the rehab from there. The reason for my hamstring tear this time round, I'm not really sure. That's probably what like hurts the most. Every other injury, it's like I've kind of been able to figure out why I've done it. Say my tibia, like I did that myself. I hit the barbell, my clumsy self did that to me, and like I've accepted that. And then the hamstring tear where I tore it off the bone and needed surgery. Leading into that race, I had a lot of hamstring tendinopathy, and I've suffered a lot of hamstring tendinopathy my whole life. It's just been something I really have to manage. But yeah, up until that point, my tendinopathy wasn't great, and even my tibia at the time, like it was healed and everything, but I had some chronic swelling around the bone. And I was dealing with that every training session. It's so hard as an athlete because you go into races and you're like, should I have not done it? Like last week's session, should I not have done it? But if you do that, then you probably never run. You're never going to sprint. So it's really hard and it's such a fine line being an athlete. I've learned so much about my body the past 4 or 5 years. Back then I was like, yep, okay, you put the pieces together. This one, it's like coming off the New Zealand race, I wasn't Domsy sore at all. Like I felt really good, and you know I tracked my recovery on my Roop, and even my scores were really good. Unfortunately, I think I was really dehydrated coming off the plane 2-3 days earlier, and my sleep wasn't the best, coming from a time difference and getting a really early flight that day. Really just putting it down to those extra 1%ers, which is so crazy. You know, my 7 whole hamstring tears, I've torn this one maybe 5 times. So that doesn't help. Don't know if it's anything to do with the surgery, and like I've got titanium bolts up in my hamstring there that make it really, really strong at the top of my hamstring. So I'm like, does down there where I've torn it, does that can't catch up to my other one? I don't know. All a part of the journey of being an athlete. I think it's also hard because like every track and field athlete would be the same, or a lot. There's not much funding in Australia, so we all still need to work and provide for ourselves because the sport is expensive. We need to travel to get to the good comps. We need to travel interstate, to Perth, to Queensland, to New Zealand. You want to go to Europe if you want to make an Australian team. You do have to make an income to provide for ourselves. So the hard thing about the last few weeks is I've travelled from Friday to Sunday every single weekend to go compete. So this means I had to reduce my work to 4 working days from 6. So I normally work 6 days a week, and I've had to reduce it to 4. So I've had to cut some of my clients out, obviously, but you know, this puts more stress on the body, stress on myself mentally to make sure I'm earning enough to get me to these places. I own 2 businesses, so I need to be there, put my 100% into that while I'm being a professional athlete, while I'm traveling. It's a really hard balancing act, and something I have struggled the past 6 to 12 months. I'm a very stressful and anxious person, and I live a very stressful life. I don't think I live that much of a stressful life, but I do. I'm a very busy girly with lots of things that I want to achieve. So in business, but also as an athlete. So I do put a lot of stress on me. I can't help it. I'm a massive overthinker. 6 months ago, I did start seeing someone, and I did start medication for that. So that has really helped me, but something I need to keep working on. I have a lot of people saying to me, "I'm gonna quit the sport." Fuck no. Not who I am. And I think I just love the sport so much. Couldn't imagine, you know, not having it. It's me. It's part of my life. It's part of my work. And I do still have 4 or 5 years in me. Like, I've been so injured the last 4 or 5 years that I know the next 4 or 5 years are going to be my year. Touch wood. This vlog that I've made, you know, I have said about all the shit things and all my downs, and wrote down a little list of all the highs that I have had in the sport. And these are the reasons that I do come back, because I want more of these highs. I won nationals in the 100 meters and 200 meters as a junior. I qualified for World Juniors, which had to be top 3 in the country. Obviously didn't get there. I came second in 2019 in the women's still gift, and then 2 years later came third. I've been on many Australian relay camps with the 4x100 meter relay squad, including the lead up into Tokyo Olympics. I got my first Open National medal in the 200 meters in 2023. I've won many Vic State Champs. I made a national final after coming back from many injuries, and now I have a 23.2 next to my name. And after running that time, I am ranked 6th in Australia. That's going to change after this injury, since I'm not running nationals, not continuing my season. Thank you so much for watching this vlog, this story of mine. And yeah, I really just wanted to tell people my story, and I know a lot of athletes go through the same. I want to inspire people, athletes, younger generation coming up, people that do different sports or just do sport for fun, to never give up on your goals. And if you love something so much, to be patient and your time will come. Love you all, and if you want to see any more parts of my rehab journey, comment below what you want to see, and I'll see you in the next vlog.